Welcome to the video lectures of Vivekananda Institute of Management, Kalburgi. In this video, we will be looking at planning. It is part of the principles and practices of management for BBM first semester and BCom second semester. Generally, planning is an activity which is commonly taken up by all of us before we do anything. Now, for example or instance, when playing chess and before you move your pawns or other coins, you will think what should be my move, and it also depends on how you want to build up your game and also as a reaction to what the other person is doing. So you have your ideas and also you take into consideration the external factors, that is the opponent, what he is doing and what his plan might be. So you would be taking care of your ideas and matching your ideas in such a way that the other person's moves will not make a adverse impact on your game. So you would be trying to win. So whether it is chess or any other game also. Like the next question that I have posed. While playing cricket, what do you do before you set the field? So you would be considering several factors. Who is the bowler? What kind of bowling does he bowl? And what the batsman is, whether he is a right-hander, left-hander, whether he likes to play lofted shots, whether he plays along the ground. So there are several factors that you consider. You also consider the nature of the pitch, and also you consider who are the players who can be close to the batsman and who are the fielders who are good at the boundary. So you are considering all these things and then you are deciding where to put which person. So that is also an example of planning. Another question would be, what would you do if you were to distribute the wedding cards of your sister's marriage? Okay. So probably when you are going out, you will arrange them in particular order. Okay. The order of from where do I start and which will be the last card to be distributed. So you arrange them in a particular order so that your traveling time and reaching all the homes is done in a proper manner. You don't want to miss any house. After returning back, you may realize that, oh, on the same route I had these many cards also which I could have distributed. So that should not happen. So what you do, you make a list of all the people on that road and accordingly you arrange the cards. So making that list and making that arrangement is nothing but another example of planning. Now you think on these lines. 10 days for the exams to start. How do you divide the remaining 10 days for studies? How many days are you going to give for a particular subject? So, and for some subjects you may give more time, for some subjects you may give lesser time. So that will determine how much time for each subject is going to be allocated so that your preparation is to the best possible extent. Similarly, when you are going on a vacation, what are the preparations that you make? What are the things that you need to take? What is your traveling plan? What are the travel arrangements that need to be made? Which are the places that you are going to see? What about the food? Where to stay? Several things have to be thought of well in advance. And this is nothing but planning. So this planning is an activity which we do in our day-to-day life before doing anything. Similarly in business, planning is a process of thinking about activities required to achieve a desired goal. Every business has its goals set in terms of usually profits, in terms of sales, in terms of market share and various aspects. So to achieve that desired goal, you create a roadmap, and that is a plan. It is the foremost and first activity that an organization takes up after having set its goals. Goals and objectives are determined in advance, and to achieve them you begin to plan. Okay. And therefore planning is also known as the fundamental function of management. well in advance, before you do anything, you try to identify who is the person who is going to do the work, when is he going to do the work, and what are the kinds of work he is going to do. So several questions like what, when, where, how, who, whom. So all these things have to be answered in advance, and that is planning. Another thing about planning is it is a thinking process. It lays down the organization's objectives and develops various courses of action by which organization can achieve those objectives. There is a goal and there may be several ways to attain that goal. So you may choose multiple ways also, or among the several ways you can choose one way which is the most appropriate, most effective, most suitable for you. So we can say that thinking before the action takes place, a peep into future, is planning. And please remember, all the activities that are done without planning are random. They are like taking unnecessary risk. It becomes an adventure, and business is not an adventure. Business is a planned activity, and lot of money, human resource, time, energy, efforts are at stake. So business cannot be done on random basis. It has to be done with a plan. Now let us look at how planning has been defined in the subject of management. Coombs and O'Donnell, they define it in the following terms. Planning is deciding in advance what is to be done. When a manager plans, he projects a course of action and basing of decisions on purpose, knowledge and considered estimates. So here we look at the various aspects that has been covered in this definition. So he said that Coombs and O'Donnell, both of them, they say that planning is deciding in advance. Okay, so it is a decision making process also, which is done before you begin to act. Okay, so decision making means making a choice. So choosing which is the appropriate action. So therefore he says planning is a decision, deciding in advance what is to be done. So among the various things that could have been done, you would be choosing what has to be done. So it involves a decision making, one aspect. And then they say when a manager plans, okay, when there is a plan, what a manager does is he projects a course of action. That is, you are looking at the future and deciding this is what I am going to do. Okay, projection means what will be done in a future. So he projects a course of action, and that will be based on some purpose. That is, you will have certain goals or objectives in mind, and based on your goals and objectives you would be deciding what has to be done, and this decision will be based on your knowledge of the situation, your understanding of the situation, plus also what is reasonably expected in the environment, what may happen, what are the changes that may happen, what needs to be tackled, what are the uncertainties that are there in the environment. All these things are taken into consideration. So this is the definition given by Coombs and O'Donnell. Another definition which is given by George Terry is planning is the selecting and relating of facts and making and using of assumptions regarding the future in the visualization and formulation of the purposed activities believed necessary to achieve desired results. So if we analyze this definition, the process has been emphasized as being very important for achieving desired results. So he says planning is the selecting and relating of facts. Okay, so you have to choose those facts which are important for achieving the goals, and then relating and making use of assumptions. So there will be certain assumptions that you are going to make. If I do this, this will be the outcome. If I take action A, that outcome is going to be like this. If I take option B, the outcome is going to be like this. Or the external environment also you have to consider. What would be the reactions of others, how the customers would react, how my employees are going to react. So various steps that you take will be the actions, and for various actions there will be reactions. So you have to assume certain reactions and responses to what you are doing. Okay, and all this is about the future activities. So in future, when I do this, this may be the outcome. You have to visualize it. It is just like when you prepare for your cricket match or something. Before a bowler begins to run in and ball, if you are a batsman, you will think, okay, this ball, if he is bowling here, I am going to hit it like this. So you will visualize it. You will see it in mentally. You will see a mental image of the things that you want to do. Similarly, in business also, you visualize that when I do this, this will be the result. You visualize it. And formulation of purposed activities. So different activities are required, because you cannot have only one way. There may be several ways. Like when you are batting, you don't know. You cannot say that this ball I am going to hit a 6. If it is a wide ball, you will never be able to contact it. So depending on what the bowler has bowled, you have to first decide, okay, if he bowls a short pitched ball, I am going to do this. If he is bowling a Yorker ball, this is how I am going to play. So for different situations, you have different plans ready in place, and that is planning. And these are the formulation of various aspects are done, various plans are prepared, and all these are necessary for achieving the desired results. So whatever you believe is the right thing to do, that according to that you have to create the plans. So overall, when you look at all these definitions of majorly these two important definitions, the focus is on the activities that you are going to do, which are going to help you to reach the desired results.